video is sponsored by HubSpot. Here's what HubSpot's AEO tool actually does, and how to use it to get your brand cited in AI answers in ChatGPT, Gemini, and Perplexity, instead of just ranked in Google. This one's a bit different from the funnel and workflow walkthroughs in this series. Instead of managing leads and deals, this is about whether your brand shows up at all when someone asks an AI a question your business could be the answer to. AEO stands for Answer Engine Optimization. Traditional SEO gets your page ranked in a list of links. AEO is about something different. Getting your brand mentioned directly inside the answer and AI gives someone when they're not clicking through to any website at all. This shift matters because more buyers are starting their research in ChatGPT, Claude, or Perplexity instead of a search bar. If your brand never gets cited in those answers, you're invisible to a growing share of research that never touches a traditional search results page. The two disciplines aren't entirely separate. Structured content, clear answers, and authoritative sourcing still matter for both SEO and AEO. What's different is the finish line. SEO wants you at the top of a results page. AEO wants the AI to actually say your name when someone asks a relevant question, whether or not they ever click anywhere. What makes this hard to ignore is the pace of the shift. SEO changed gradually over roughly 2 decades, giving marketers time to adjust. The move toward AI-driven research is happening in months, not years, which means waiting to see how things settle before adapting isn't really an option if your competitors are already showing up in these answers and you aren't. HubSpot's AEO tool gives you 4 core things: a brand visibility score, prompt tracking, citation analysis, and prioritized recommendations. The visibility score is a single percentage showing you how often your brand shows up across the prompts you're tracking, and it trends over time across ChatGPT, Gemini, and Perplexity. What makes this different from a generic AEO tool is that it's connected to your CRM. Instead of guessing which prompts to track, it suggests prompts based on your actual industry, competitors, and customer segments, since it already has that data from the CRM side. That connection also means the tool gets smarter the longer you use it, since it's drawing from real customer and deal data rather than a static, generic template built for every business in your industry, regardless of how your customers actually talk about what you sell. It's worth sitting with that distinction for a second, because it's the actual reason this is worth using over a standalone AEO tool. Most competitors hand you a visibility report and leave you to figure out what to do with it. This one starts from data it already has about your specific business. Inside the tool, you define the specific prompts relevant to your business, the actual questions your buyers are likely asking in AI. You can use the CRM-powered suggestions as a starting point, or add your own custom prompts if you already know the exact language your buyers use. Once set, HubSpot runs these prompts daily against the major answer engines and tracks exactly how your brand appears each time. So, you're working from real, current data instead of a one-time snapshot that goes stale in a month. It's worth starting from a smaller set of prompts rather than tracking dozens at once. A handful of prompts that closely match how your actual buyers ask questions gives you clearer signal than a long list of generic ones that barely resemble real search behavior. Beyond your own visibility, the tool tracks share of voice. What percentage of AI mentions in your category are going to you versus your competitors? You can add competitors directly, including variations of their brand names, so tracking stays accurate even when an AI engine refers to them slightly differently across answers. This view is often more useful than the visibility score alone, because a decent score can still mean you're being consistently outranked by one specific competitor in your category, something you'd never catch without a direct comparison. Sentiment matters here too, not just whether you're mentioned, but how. Getting cited isn't automatically a win if the AI is describing your brand unfavorably compared to a competitor. So it's worth checking not just how often you appear, but what's actually being said when you do. This is also where a lot of brands get an uncomfortable but useful wake-up call. It's easy to assume you're in a known name in your space, right up until you see a direct comparison showing a smaller competitor getting cited 3 times as often for the exact prompts that matter most to your business. Citation analysis breaks down which domains and content types are actually driving the mentions your brand is getting, and which ones are driving mentions for your competitors instead. This tells you what kind of content is working, not just that something is working. If a competitor keeps getting cited from a specific type of comparison page or guide, that's a concrete signal for what to build next, rather than guessing at content ideas with no data behind them. This is also where you can spot a gap in your own content library. If AI engines keep citing third-party review sites instead of anything on your own domain, that's a sign you don't currently have content answering that specific question directly. And that's exactly the kind of gap that recommendations feature is built to catch. It's a genuinely different way to think about content planning. Instead of brainstorming topics you think might be relevant, you're looking at exactly which questions are being asked and exactly who's currently winning the citation for each one. This is the part that sets HubSpot's AEO tool apart from a lot of standalone alternatives. When it identifies a visibility gap, the recommendations connect directly to execution. You can create the content, update an existing page, or publish a social post right inside HubSpot without switching to a separate tool to act on what you just learned. From there, you just keep watching the visibility score week over week as you act on recommendations, which turns AEO into an ongoing habit rather than a one-time audit that gets checked once and forgotten. Treat the first month as a baseline, not a verdict. Visibility scores move gradually as AI engines recrawl and re-index content. So a flat score after a week doesn't mean the work isn't working, it usually means it hasn't been given enough time yet. Give it a full reporting cycle before deciding whether a specific piece of content actually moved the needle. That's what HubSpot's AEO tool actually does. Tracking your visibility, showing you where you stand against competitors, and connecting the fix directly to your own content tools. AI search isn't a future trend to prepare for later, it's already reshaping how people find businesses right now. If you want to try it for your own brand, the link is in the description below.